We got Paris Jackson speaking out after criticizing the upcoming Michael biopic starring Coleman Domingo.
There's lots of miscommunications and things get twisted.
We had the family's blessing, and they were on set with us many days.
After Paris initially disputed that, posting, "Don't be telling people I was helpful on a movie I had 0% involvement in." But as for the real family, it seems like it wasn't all love and light at a recent screening.
It sounds like it'll be a complicated movie.
I think it will be.
According to one report, Janet and Jermaine had a raging call after previewing the movie out April 24th. Why? Apparently, Janet was very critical of the film, while Jermaine applauded loudly. TMZ claims the beef is more about Janet being, quote, insanely jealous of Michael. ET reached out to Janet's rep, who has no comment.
The Michael Jackson biopic dropped today, you guys, and there's more happening off screen that is more unhinged than anything they put in that movie. So buckle up, y'all. We're about to get into all this Jackson family tea. Hey YouTube family, welcome back to the channel, Celebrity Scandalust. Hope you're having a fabulous day today. If you're new here, welcome to the group chat. Hit that like button, share the love, and let's get into the mess. While the fans are lining up to see this movie, we need to talk about the drama that's not on screen, but happening behind the scenes. Buried secrets, new allegations. Y'all, this is too much. His own daughter, Paris, won't even step foot in the theater to see it. Janet and LaToya are divided. Janet says she's not seeing it, and LaToya was at the star-studded premiere. The estate spent about $10 to $20 million to scrub the most controversial parts of the film, and the boy playing him on screen, Jermaine Jackson's son, Jafar, and they're saying he barely even knew Michael. So let's start with Paris, Michael Jackson's only daughter, you guys. They said she's the one person on this planet who should be front row at the premiere cheering her daddy on screen. She not there. Not only is she not there, y'all, she reportedly, they said she read an early draft of the script and posted on social media. I read one of the first drafts and gave my notes about what was dishonest and didn't sit right with me. And they didn't want to address it, so I just moved on with my life. Not my monkeys. Girl, I know she ain't talking about Bubbles being her monkey. Anyway, she said, not my monkeys, not my circus. What? Sis said, not my circus, and logged off. That alone should tell you something. Paris didn't just distance herself from the movie. Sources are saying that Paris has been spending time with the Cassio family. I think that's how you say it. The same family whose 4 children just filed a new lawsuit against the Jackson estate alleging years of abuse. And insiders close to that family told the Daily Mail, y'all listen, come in close. Paris knows exactly what her father did. Oh my God. Y'all, I had to do a wig shift on that one. Remember, that is his daughter. That's not a rumor. People close to the alleged victims are saying Michael Jackson's own daughter has had candid and private conversations, and now she believes the allegations could be true. Now, you guys, I don't know if this is true, but that's what they're saying. This changes everything. My, y'all. This is crazy. She used to defend him hard. Called the accusations lies, said her father was kind-hearted. Remember, she even had his face tattooed on her arm. And now that same tattoo reportedly has a scar running across it. Paris is 28 years old now. I mean, people change. They grow up. They remember things differently. She lost her dad when she was 11. And the more she finds out about who he really was or what people are saying, the more complicated this whole thing gets. They're saying she's not ready to go public with the information she has yet, but sources say when she does, it's going to change everything. Y'all, I need a sip of something on this one because it's sounding like I'm not rushing to conclusions, but it's leaning towards the fact that she may be co-signing that Michael Jackson did do something to those little ones. Now, hold on, because before we go further, we need to address the elephant in the room that the Jackson estate does not want you talking about. Y'all know what that is? Is Paris Jackson even biologically Michael Jackson's daughter? I mean, for years, y'all know we side-eyed that girl. A lot of us have biracial family members, but we said, child, that girl is white. I'm just saying, we've been asking Maury for a DNA test for years now. Y'all, the receipts on this have been floating around for years because Paris's biological mother is Debbie Rowe. The nurse that was married to Michael Jackson in 1997, she signed over parental rights after their divorce. Remember that? Debbie has hinted in interviews over the years that she was essentially a surrogate for Michael's dream of having children. And Michael himself, in a 2003 documentary with Martin Bashir, said the children were conceived with a surrogate and that the mother was never identified publicly. Paris had light skin, blue eyes, blonde hair. Michael Jackson was a black man. Y'all do the math. I'm just saying, the math ain't mathin'. But anyway, Now, skin color alone doesn't determine parentage. We all know that. Parentage. Genetics are complicated, but the internet has never let this one go. And Paris herself has said in interviews that she considers Michael her father regardless of the biology. Bingo. There you have it. That comment right there. So did she secretly sneak off and get a test done? Okay, I'm going to leave that one alone and let y'all answer that one in the comments. Moving on. But here's where it gets crazy, okay? If Paris is not biologically Michael's child, and she's now distancing herself from his legacy, and she's now siding with his accusers, what does that say about what she believes she owes him? The answer, according to sources, not much, okay? Not anymore. So, if she doesn't owe him anything, they're saying she doesn't owe him anything, but I bet you she ain't turning down nothing but her collar, because I bet you she want to keep getting that money in, right? Okay, she don't owe him anything, so then I bet you she gonna spend the money from that estate. And then there's the mystery of Blanket, Michael Jackson's youngest son, born in 2002. Blanket, remember he was dangled over the hotel balcony in that, they call it one of the most disturbing celebrity moments ever caught on camera. His biological mother has never been publicly identified. He lives the most private life of all the kids and has stayed almost completely silent throughout all of this premiere drama. 3 kids, 3 different situations, 0 of them showing up for this movie, y'all. That says a lot. I mean, you know what? I have forgotten some of these details, but this saga is weird and crazy. Blanket probably doesn't even know who his real parents are. Now let's talk about Jafar. That's the one that's in the media right now, because this young man deserves his flowers and his family drama deserves to be exposed. Jafar is Jermaine Jackson's son. He's the one who landed the role playing Michael Jackson. He landed the role of a lifetime, playing his own uncle in the $150 million studio biopic. And critics, they're not mad at his performance, you guys. They're saying Jafar Jackson nails the look, the voice, and the moves, that he brings Michael to life in a way that genuinely makes you forget you're watching a movie. But here's where the press tours aren't talking about. Jermaine Jackson and Michael had one of the most complicated, messy, and publicly documented brotherly relationships in the history of celebrity. Jermaine was the original frontman, right? He was the lead in the beginning. He was supposed to be the star. He was the older than Michael. Then Michael blew past him so hard, Jermaine was left writing songs about how his brother stole his shine. In 1980, they're saying while Michael was releasing Off the Wall, Jermaine was literally releasing a song called You're Supposed to Keep Your Love for Me. And it was supposed to be directed at Michael. I don't remember that, but anyway, they're saying the jealousy was documented in real time on vinyl. So now let's talk about Jafar, Jermaine's son. He gets to be Michael Jackson, literally becomes him on screen, gets the standing ovation, gets the reviews, gets to moonwalk in the IMAX, okay? How is Jermaine processing that when there was such a rivalry between him and Michael? Now, there are conflicting reports about how he feels about it, but from all I've seen and heard Jermaine say, he's a proud dad and he's praising his son's performance. So I haven't seen any drama on that side. Now, let's get into the ladies of the family, because this is where the real dynasty drama lives. You know, it's always the dramas with the girls, y'all. Janet Jackson, the second biggest Jackson, arguably, the icon, legend, the woman invented the Super Bowl halftime show and got punished for it. Janet is notably very absent from any support of this film, you guys. No interviews, no premiere appearances, no social media posts, trying to promote it. No, she's not feeling it. Now, Janet has not made an official statement saying she's against the movie, but in celebrity language, you guys, when you say nothing at all, that pretty much is a statement. Essentially, when you consider that Janet has always been the most protective of the family's real story, she knows things. She was there, and she's choosing not to put her face anywhere near this sanitized, estate-approved version. Sources have revealed Janet is allegedly against the movie. And then on the complete opposite side, who do we have? Miss LaToya. LaToya Jackson, who spent years in the 1990s being one of the most outspoken voices against Michael. She gave interviews, she made accusations, she said things about her own brother that the family never forgave. She later did recant them, and she said she was in a controlling relationship at the time and was pressured to speak out against him. But the receipts are still there, girl, you said it. The interview still exists, and now LaToya is reportedly supportive of this film. If you guys remember, LaToya was always the wild card. She had the face done, the boobs, everything, wearing snakes and everything. So let's just paint this picture. Because now it's crazy. It done flip-flop. The sister who defended Michael his whole life, silenced, on mute. The sister who publicly accused him is supportive of the movie. The Jackson family has been in their own movie for the last 40 years, and none of them can seem to agree on the plot, y'all. Now let's talk about the actual movie, because the drama behind the camera is just as wild as the family drama. The film was originally supposed to include the abuse allegations. The third act of the original script dealt directly with the 1993 case involving Jordan Chandler. They were filming that version. They had the script. They were doing everything. And then somebody finally read the fine print of the $25 million legal settlement that Michael Jackson's estate had made with one of the accusers over a decade ago. Then that settlement had a clause that said the accuser could never be depicted in any commercial film about Michael Jackson. So the estate, who was back in the movie, essentially helping produce it, had to pull the brakes. They paid between $10 and $15 million for reshoots. They had to scrub the allegations completely out the film, literally erase one of the most controversial chapters of Michael Jackson's life from his own biopic. I mean, that is almost critical to his history, besides the music, right? Critics are calling it sanitized. One reviewer said it has the dramatic depth of a Wikipedia article. That's not good. Rotten Tomatoes has said it's at 38%. The estate spent $150 million to make a movie that critics are calling a film playlist. And Paris Jackson called it full of lies. And Janet won't even touch it. And the victims' families are suing. But Jafar Jackson is getting standing ovations. So at least somebody's winning. Michael Jackson has been gone since 2009. He has been dead for 17 years, and his family, his estate, his legacy is still in more chaos and controversy than most celebrities generate in a lifetime. The estate is fighting lawsuits. His daughter may be about to go public against everything they built. His siblings can't agree on how to honor him. His kids aren't showing up for him for the film, and the movie that was supposed to rehabilitate his image for a new generation is now sitting at 38% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Jackson family was America's first black royal family before Jay-Z and Beyonce. Joseph Jackson pushed those boys so hard, he broke some of them. Michael escaped into a level of fame so enormous, it became its own kind of prison. And now everybody who's left is either trying to protect the legacy, profit from it, or finally tell the truth about it. None of them can agree on what to do, though. And that right there is almost the most human part of this whole story. So y'all tell me what you think in the comments. Are you going to see the Michael Jackson movie this weekend? Do you believe Paris? Like, she hasn't publicly spoken, but do you think if she's saying that he did something, do you believe her? Do you think the estate was wrong to erase the allegations? And most importantly, was Jafar Jackson the right choice to play the King of Pop, knowing the strained relationship between his father and Michael? So you guys, please like and hype this video. Let me know if you want a part 2 about the wife swapping and some of the more salacious things between the Jackson brothers. Let me know and I'll do a part 2, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.